Fine. Our today's session is specially designed for English grammar. There are certain grammar mistakes that we do, that we commit in our routine life while writing, while speaking, which should not be there. So I thought that we can have one special session on that. In the coming days, I am also planning to, share with you people certain details of words, especially for the word usage. For example, uh, there is somebody who has joined from Gmail, right? So Google Meet asked me, do you want to admit him? So admit, permit, consent, allow. All four words seem like, look like, synonyms, but there are certain differences. If we can find out those things, that can help us like anything. I can give you lots of examples like that. Do you want to ask or inquire, investigate, interrogate? See, there are words which are used for specific purpose. That's why they are there. So I'm preparing a comprehensive list of such words which I'll share with you people so that you can use the appropriate word at the appropriate situation that can help you. I'm also working on special sessions. See, I won't be able to go for more sessions, right, due to limitations of time, and availability. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share, I create videos and I'll upload and I'll share the link with you people. The way I have shared the links of previous two sessions, I'm also going to share the link of this session too, and there will be videos of 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes of such things. For example, how body language can should be there when you face interview, offline, online. So there will be a video of 10, 15 minutes. We cannot have one special session on it, but definitely that can help you as a booster dose. So I'm planning in that way. Fine. Okay. So I guess many people have joined, so we can start today's session. Today, what I have planned is we'll go for most common English grammar mistakes. We call it deadliest mistakes, right? We'll talk about those things today. I have listed few of them, right? The list is very huge in a way, but I've selected few for our reference. So, deadliest English grammar mistakes to avoid. That's the title. See, the world is about marketing. So, if your tagline is catchy, people will definitely come. Fine. Okay. So, we can start this. Likewise, I'll request 2, 3 students from the list, those who have joined. If you find a difficulty, question, query, or any technical glitch, right, you just unmute your mic and let me know. Because while I'm presenting my PowerPoint presentation, I won't be able to see and every time your chats, right? So it would be better that you unmute your mic and tell me. Fine. I guess Dhaval can help me out. Dhaval and somebody else. Fine. All are mature ones, so you definitely anybody can help me out. Okay. So let's go with that. Fine, Dhaval. Thank you. I hope you are not traveling today. Okay. The structure would be like this. I'll ask you, right? Instead of sharing with you people the rules of grammar, I thought that I can take it in a different way. So what I've done is I have converted all the rules in form of question, quiz. So every slide will have some questions and we'll discuss which one is right, which one is not right. So in that way, we can practically understand the roots. I've kept 30 around, and today's special bonus surprise package is this lecture onwards. I'm going to offer you a certificate of join, attending class. Fine. The moment I'll share the link, Google Form link before the lecture ends, right? You add the details, and immediately on your email ID, you will find the certificate. So tomorrow, if somebody says that, right, that you have not attended class, you can present this certificate. And this certificate may be useful to you. You try it out for your 100 points activity. I guess when you're in seventh semester, you must have completed all those tasks, but you can also present there. So I'm going to do in that way. Fine. Okay. So the first slide says that the cat jumped on the mouse, at the mouse, onto the mouse, into the mouse. Now, what can be the answer? Vatsal says A, on the mouse. So Vatsal says this one. Everybody says A. Wow. See, this is the advantage of teaching intelligent class. Excellent. Fine. Anybody else who has other than A? Somebody says C. Okay. Kushal says option number C is the right answer. Okay. Otherwise, everybody says A. Okay. Great. No problem. Let me explain. See, it cannot be there because it talks about direction. In English, when we talk about MCQs, solving MCQs, there is one process, there is one technique to solve MCQ. It is called POE. I've written the chat box POE. POE stands for process of elimination. Process of elimination. That means if you are not sure that which answer can be there, go reverse. Start eliminating that which answer cannot be there, so that the probability of getting your answer correct would be increased. When there are four options, 25%, three options, 33%, two options, 50%. Okay, when we look at this, the option number D, the cat jumped into the mouse. That means mouse has opened his mouth and cat is jumping into it. That is not possible. Now we have a question with, we have two options. Either it can be on or onto. So I tell you that when I have given the title Deadliest Mistakes, can it be as easy as you find of your 10th grade exam? See, on means the cat is already standing on the mouse and is jumping. Getting? We want to show that there is a movement. The movement of cat jumping from one point A to point B, where mouse is there, so that to show that direction, we use onto. This has been asked onto wala question. This question, this has been asked many times in CAT exam and many times in GRE for sentence correction. I'm talking about old syllabus. So make sure that it is onto. Fine, not on. Right? That's why it is deadliest mistake. Mind it. Right? Okay. If you have a question or query, you can post it, right? Okay. Next sentence is, I have bought a pen yesterday. I bought a pen yesterday. What do you think? Okay. Can anybody tell me why? Bhumi says it's A. Why Bhumi? Why A? Can you explain? If you can unmute your mic and explain. Or anybody who would like to give justification for option B. Why option B is there? Because it might happen. It might happen that you guessed it. This time your guessing went right. Every time it cannot go right, right? Anand Kathiria, good. You got a good sense of grammar. Kushal, nice one. I tell you, yesterday is a keyword that talks about simple past tense. When we have yesterday, last week, last year, right? Any word like this that indicates a time, in that way we will go for simple past tense. Have describes perfect present tense. In perfect present tense, our focus is on the effect, not on the action. Here you can find since and for. In that case, it can be perfect present tense. Otherwise, when there is any word that indicates past time, right? In that way, we should, rather, we must go for simple past tense. That's why option number B is correct. Clear? Everyone? Hello? Fine. Good. See, this is the most common mistake that everybody does. Everybody does, rather. I tell you. I have heard from many experienced people, legendary people. They make such kind of mistakes unknowingly. He has been working since 5 years. He has been working for 5 years. Remember those days of your 10th standard when your English grammar teacher would have told you that when we have a specific time, point of time, when we have a point of time, we always go for since, and when there is a duration, bold, italic, underline, red color font, duration, we use for. So here, for is right because we talk about duration. This is not a point of time. That's why since cannot be there. But here, I I wrote one sentence to confuse you people that he has been working since morning. When I talk about today, morning is a specific time because we cannot have more mornings, right? 2 mornings, 3 mornings, 4 mornings. Morning is one. So it talks about specific time, right? That's why he has been working since morning can be right. Kushal, if there is a specific date, for example, today is 2020, right? If it is written 2015, right? Since would be there. You mark my words. There is when there is a point, point is equal to since, period is equal to for. Point is equal to since, period is equal to for. Is it clear now, Kushal and everybody else? Fine. So never ever, while speaking, while writing, do not make such kind of mistake. Great. Okay. Welcome, Yash.
Thank you, sir.
Fine. He is taller than me. He is taller than I. everybody is writing A. So see, when I talk about deadliest mistakes, there must be something, right? Okay. But you people are very smart, very intelligent. I'm proud of you people. Everybody is writing A. Okay, fine. Now I tell you, you logically or visualize the comparison. If you remember, when we used to watch Hindi movies of 90s, fine, there was a common, fixed format, hero and heroine. One of them comes from a rich family, one of them comes from a poor family. They fall in love with each other, and there is a problem with the family. And if the girl comes from a rich family and the boy, right, is from a poor family, like Dhadkan, right, the very famous dialogue, the famous movie, Sunil Shetty, Akshay Kumar, right, and Shilpa Shetty, right. When the hero goes to heroine's father and ask, right, and propose that I want to get married to your daughter, and the common dialogue was there, right, across the movies of all that era. क्या तुम्हें मालूम नहीं, रिश्ता हमेशा बराबरी वालों में होता है नहीं. Yeah, I just entered and added the flavor of Amitabh Bachchan into that. Now, because Mohabbatein was the same kind of thing. Fine. Now, here, yeah, it was epic, Harit. So now you look at it. Oh, thank you. It has been because I have got cough for 2-3 days. Double. Okay. I'm flattered in a way. He is taller than me. Now, he is a subjective pronoun, and me is objective pronoun. Mind it. Now, subject is compared with subject. Object is compared with object. I give you one more example. My house is bigger than my friend. Now you understand. My house is bigger than my friend. Then how big your friend is? Getting? Here, my house is bigger than my friend's house. It should be like this. That's why it is, first one is wrong because it is objective. This is objective. And we will go with this because these two are subjective cases. That's the thing. Yes, Vatsal, we can add. He is taller than I am. It can be. But I wanted to, create a kind of atmosphere where it looks like deadly. M, if it is omitted, right, it is ignored. In that case also, it should be like this. Fine. Okay. Same example. See, I told you. Now you can answer this question correctly. What would be the answer? Definitely B. Absolutely right. See, now I can teach well so that students can learn. I'm improving, right? Okay. So this is the right answer. Fine. Fantastic. Let's go with the next one. This is going to be epic. The most important thing, mind it. Tell me, what can be the answer? The pen is inferior than that pen. This pen is inferior to that pen. A or B? Oh. See, can I get any explanation? Why B? Oh, Vatsal says A. Wow. Durraj says B. Good. Prashant says B. Hardik says B. Kushal says B. Jaideep is with option number 2. Jinu and Jaideep, they are also with option number B. Pushparatsi talks about A. Dhaval Vasani says A. Okay. Can anybody tell me why A is right or why B is right? I want justification. I want clarification. It's not just you for the sake of giving option. Inferior means greater than. That's why maybe what? Kushal, I don't know whether you opted for A or B. Fine. So it sounds good. Okay. Fine. I tell you that when you find any word, any adjective or adverb ending with IOR, no, Bhumi, it's not about, it's nice effort better, but it's not about comparison, right? It is comparison there. The degree of comparison is all about comparison. Fine. But I tell you that when you find any word, fine, with IOR, that is superior, inferior, senior, junior, right? Like this, prior. When any adjective ends with IOR, we always take to instead of then. Mind it. When there is IOR, we will not take then. Please make sure. Fine. Is it clear now, everyone? Now, I'm going to give you challenge. Tell me, as on 5th of August, we'll be celebrating along with Ayodhya. So I thought that this sentence deserves to be here. Ram is more sharp than clever. You need to tell me that whether this sentence is correct or not. If the sentence is correct, why? If the sentence is not correct, why? If anyone answers this correctly, if anyone answers this correctly with all satisfactory justification, I will write his name on my all social media appreciating his grammar skills. This is the prize. You need to unmute your mic and tell me why. Or you need to type it in a in elaborative way so that I can read out for everybody and I can tell you. And you have got 1 minute. Tulesh, you have copied my sentence. What is that? See, when you say sharper, sharp, yes sir, no sir, I cannot understand that. I need one option that it is right or not. Number one, number two, why? Jaydeep says correct because clever can be a name. No, but nice attempt. I will not say yes or no. You have got 1 minute. See, now you will agree with me. When I write the deadliest mistakes, they are deadliest, right or not? Harit says Ram is sharper than clever. Harit, I don't think. You look at it. Durratsi says that Ram is more sharp than being clever. Now I tell you that the basic rule of fundamental rule of comparative degree, when we have any adjective, when there is or there are more than two vowels in the spelling, right? In that case, we go with more. Otherwise, we go with er. Sharp has only one vowel a. Clever has two vowels ee. If it is beautiful, we can say more beautiful. If it is sharp, it can be sharper. If it is clever, it can be cleverer. Fine. Just giving you hints. No. Okay. See, if anybody cannot answer correctly, and if I can, convince you people, if I tell you, right, then you will have to appreciate me. Fine. Okay. The Harith, the fundamental rule of comparative degree is degree of comparison. It says that when any adjective has more than two vowels, it takes more before the adjective or adverb. If there are two or less than two, it takes er at the end. Fine. Okay. Jaipal says that Ram is more sharp than cleverer. Oh, fine. See, this was given to you. See, intentionally, I have written that sentence in that slide. Now you understand, right? I am not paying per slide for preparing a presentation. Listen to me carefully. Sentence thing number one is this sentence is 100% correct. Number one. Number two, this sentence is not the sentence of degree of comparison, because you had that flavor in your mind about degree of comparison. That's why you connected it. THN then and MORE more, they are not the words which are only used for degree of comparison. Here I compare the Ram's sharpness is more than Ram's cleverness. I'm comparing here, not comparing Ram with anybody, but I'm comparing Ram's sharpness and cleverness. That's why Ram is more sharp than clever. Hello? Batti Jali? Hello? Okay, fine, fine, fine. See, this is that's why this is deadliest mistake. Okay, so we'll go with the next one. Fine. Now here there can be more than one answer correct. There's a possibility. Fine. Look at it. He is the best players in our team. He is the better player in our team. He is one of the best players in our team. He is the best player in our team. So tell me which answer is correct. Kushal, very sharp. Proud of you, Kushal. Hemang, proud of you. Right answer. Good, good. Everybody is on the right page now. It is the sentence of superlative degree. When we use one of the, in that case, the noun would be in plural form. When there is one of the, it should be plural. When it is only the, it should be singular. Fine. Why? Because here we talk about, when we talk about this sentence, we say that there are few best players and he is one of them. And here it says that he is the only best player. That's why it is singular. So in a way, option number C and D, option number C and option number D, both are correct. Fine. Clear with everyone? Hello? Fine. Thank you. We go with the next one. She was knitting a sweater for her husband, which was warm. She was knitting a sweater which was warm for her husband. This is a sentence of modifiers. When you are looking for CAT exam, GSET exam, GRE, GMAT, right, you will find the errors of modifiers as one of the topics. Even for any competitive exam, you will find this. Fine. Okay. Now, if you look at that, first I'll tell you that option number B is correct. She was knitting a sweater which was warm for her husband. Here, the modifier is which was warm. Here, the husband is not warm. Here, the warm is sweater. The fundamental rule of modifier is the modifier, the word that modifies, right, should be there with the word which is modified for clarity. Fine. So option number B is correct. Everyone. Jaipal, Dhruvraj, Anand, if you have a question, if your doubt is not still clear, please let me know. Gajendra, Gajendra, please tell me. Fine. If your doubt is not clear, please let me know. I'll explain it, right? If it is done, I'll move to the next slide. Fine. Okay.
Sir,
Yep.
sir, can it be like she was knitting a sweater for her husband which was warm?
See, which was warm is a modifier. It should be there with sweater, not with husband. Here it says
Because
that
of the fact that
yeah,
it's a
yeah,
sweater, so it has to be warm.
which was warm modifies sweater, so it should be with sweater.
Okay, 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 got it.
Fine. Okay. Yes, Dhuvraj, exactly. Which is used for sweater, that's why it should be with that. Second example or error for from the misplaced modifier family. I nearly waited for the bus for 2 hours. I waited for the bus for nearly 2 hours. Now you can catch the point. Good. B is right. Absolutely. Now I can see that my students are learning quickly. The word nearly is a modifier. I cannot wait nearly. I wait fully. You cannot wait in proportionate form. Mind it. But you can wait nearly for 2 hours. So it can be 100 minutes, not full 120 minutes. Getting? So nearly talks about. So about 2 minutes. You cannot about wait, but it can be about 2 hours. That's why option number B is right. Great. So now everybody is getting the right answer. Fantastic. While climbing the tree, the bottle dropped. While I was climbing, the bottle dropped. While climbing, I dropped the bottle. Wow. This is also a sentence from modifiers family. Perfect. While climbing, I dropped the bottle. It's the right answer. See, even there can be one trap. For example, while I was climbing, the bottle was dropped by me. When you find such kind of sentence, make sure that you always prefer active voice, because active voice is direct. You can easily map the doer. I dropped the bottle while I was climbing is right. Or you can say, I dropped the bottle while climbing. There's no need for repeating I both the times. That's why. What's up? Kushal, while climbing the tree, the bottle dropped. That means who dropped the bottle? It is not getting clear. That's why. Right? Because the sentence is, while I was climbing the tree, my bottle was dropped, or I dropped the bottle. So here, the sentence number A does not give you clarity. That's why. While I was climbing, the bottle was dropped. If it was written like this, then we would have considered it. But I told you that we avoid passive voice. Here, was is not written. That's why it is incorrect. And here it give you clear idea. While climbing is with I. So it says that when you were climbing, I was climbing in a way, and I dropped the bottle. Drop the bottle is also with I. So it gives the clarity in the sentence. That's why C is the right answer. Clear, everyone? Okay. I walk in the class. I run into the class. I walk into the class. I run into the class. Fine. See, I walk in the class. That means I am already situated in the class and I'm walking there. Into is the verb, the way we talked about onto in the first sentence, direction. So here it says that it's about entering. That's why we are walking interview. Fine. Run into is not there in our dictionary. It is not the right one because we cannot go in that way. So that's why option number C is there. I run in the class, right? Same thing that you are running in the class. But when we want to talk about entering, it should be there, walk into. I walked into the class means I entered the class. Fine. One of the sessions or one of the videos I'm going to make is about phrase prepositions. So when you understand phrase preposition, you will get to know about it. So walk into, walk down, walk for, right? So you will get to know about it. I am walking into the class. We cannot go in that way. Out of this four options, you can go with option number C. Fine. Okay. This will blow your mind. The dog smells bad. The dog smells badly. Fine. Can I have anyone who says option number B is correct? Harit, can you explain why B is correct? Kushal, can you explain why B is correct? Oh, Bhumi also says B option. Okay, let us gamble. Is there anybody who says both the option A and B both are incorrect? No. Okay. Is there anybody who says option A and B both are correct? Okay, just heard in a movie. Okay, Dhaval says both are correct. Harsh Kurani says both are wrong. Vatsal says dog is smelling badly can be correct. Okay. Bhumi says maybe sir. So Bhumi, do you mean to say that sir is correct, or maybe sir means what? Maybe sir means what should I consider, Bhumi? Should I consider that are both the options correct, or sir correct, or both are wrong, or maybe sir is wrong? Acha, both are correct. Okay. See, this is what we want to learn. Communication. The words depend on time. Okay. Now we'll start. Playing with the words. Okay. I tell you. Let me explain. The first thing first is both are correct. The both sentences are correct. Fine. Okay. Now the dog smells bad. That means it is the dog's capacity sniffing is bad. It's poor. Fine. The dog smells badly. That means dog is lying there in the mud. Dog has become gandi nali ka keeda. So the dog is smelling badly, right? So here, dog is there in that mud. That's why you feel that dog, it's yuck, right? And the dog smells bad. It's about dog's quality, dog's efficiency, ability of smelling is bad. Clear? Yeah, Ginu mentioned that both are correct in its own way. Right. Ginu, you can join politics. Right. You can speak diplomatic language. Fine. Okay, just kidding. Ginu, don't take it seriously, right? Okay. Now, another twister. Look at it. He's a good actor, singer, and dances well. He's a good actor, sings well, and dances well. He acts well, and a good singer and dancer. He's a good actor, singer, and dancer. Remember the first session of yours when I talked about self introduction. I talked about hobbies. I explained you one concept of parallelism. That means every word, each word in the sentence should be in parallel form. Exactly, Gajendra, Raj, Hardik, Dhaval, right? Right. Vatsal, excellent. Option number D is correct because if you look at this sentence number, option number A says good actor, dancer, noun, noun, verb. Option number B, good actor, noun, sings well, dances well, verb, verb. Option number C says acts well, acts well is verb, good singer and dancer is noun. So verb, noun, noun. Option number D was only there. It says good actor, noun, singer, noun, dancer, noun. That means all are in parallel form. That's why it is correct. Here, acts well, noun and noun. This is verb, this is noun. Here, good actor is a noun, sings well, dances well is a verb. It's a good actor, noun. Singer is noun, dances well is verb. That's why wrong, wrong, wrong. Clear? Yes, Harit, you can write as well as both and not only but also you can write anything. But the main words, keywords, right? That should be in parallel form. That means you cannot have verb and noun, noun and adjectives, right? If it is adjective, all adjectives should be in parallel form, right? This concept is called parallelism. This is asked majorly in competitive exams, fine, in GRE, in CAT exams, fine. So can I move to the next one? Hello, fine, okay. Up to now, enjoying everyone? Great. Now, you look at this. The students who miss the class frequently fail in exam. Students who frequently miss the class fail in exam. The students who miss the class frequently fail in the exam. Vatsal, you can go with that, no problem. I give you a clue here. Frequently is the modifier. Now tell me. That means when you miss the class, when you miss the class, frequently you fail. If you look at the frequency of classes and frequency of exam, which is more frequent? Hello, class, yes, and bunking the class and bunking the exam, which is more frequent? Fine, exactly. So we need to understand that missing the class frequently will result into failing in exam. Yes, that means if you miss the class frequently, you will fail in exam. So option number B is correct. And if you grow on a broader sense, fine, you can consider this also. A, maybe because it's indicating both cases, exam and also missing the class. That's why, Bhumi, it is wrong, because when you fail to indicate, fail to uh, point which one is there, that's why it is missing, right? Yes, comma is also not there. That's why it creates a doubt, and that's why it is error. Fine. Okay. So we'll consider this. Okay. Here I like to explain you two fundamental rules. Ram is my friend, Sham is my friend. When there is a subject is singular, when the subject is singular, the verb would be accordingly. When subjects are plural, verb would be accordingly. Simple. So this is also right, this is also right, but this is a simple rule I want to explain. Sometimes we make such kind of blunders. So make sure that you don't do that. So both A and B are correct in a way, but keeping in mind singular goes with singular, plural goes with plural. Fine. Okay. This is little bit tricky. This will consume your energy. My teacher and guide is coming. My teacher and guide are coming. My teacher and a guide is coming. My teacher and a guide are coming. Fine. I give you a clue that there are two answers correct. Two answers correct. Which are two? And why? Kushal, why? Jinu, why? Vatsal, you need to explain why. Yeah, Vatsal, tell me.
So I think that in option C, my teacher and a guide is coming. That is, a guide is mentioned as a singular. So it can be used, is can be used over there. whereas we cannot use is if there is a guide.
Okay.
I think that.
Okay. Fine. Fine. No issue. Thank you, Vatsal. Okay. I could find one surprising comment from Dhruvraj. A teacher is also a guide. If you look at option number A, there is one teacher has two roles. Your elder brother is your mentor too. Your elder brother is your friend too. So there are one person having two roles. That means when we do not find any pronoun or article there, we consider it as this is a one person. One. When it is one, it is singular. That's why is. Clear? Hello? Fine. Now, if you look at it, my teacher, it has got pronoun and a guide. That means teacher is one, guide is second. That's why R. So option number A and option number D are correct. Fine. Yes, Gino. Perfectly explained. In A, option number A, one person is playing both the roles. And on option number D, there are two persons having two roles. Kushal, exactly, right? Exactly. In option number D, both are different. That's why. Okay. The principal as well as all the teachers is present. The principal as well as all the teachers are present. This is a simple rule of subject verb agreement. If you have Renan Martin grammar with you, go to page number 110. Right? You will get to know about it. Option number B is correct. Excellent. When we have any two subjects connected with as well as, option number B is correct. Wow. Fine. Now everybody, lend me your ears for 1 minute. I'm typing something in the chat box. In addition to, along with, together with, and, both and. Fine. If you find such kind of connecting words along with as well as, make sure that your verb should be applied according to the first underline bold italic first subject. Fine. So here, yes, you can leave, no issue. Here, if you look at it, is the principal is the main subject. So we are focusing on the spotlight is on the principal and not all the teachers. Fine. That's why this is the deadliest mistakes. Yes. In the same thing, if there is either or, neither nor, in that case, last object. If it is written like this, either the principal or all the teachers, then we will write are. Fine. Okay. See. So here, you can find out Either the principal or all the teachers are present. Because either or will consider the last or which is near to the verb. That's why are. Fine. Then we have next one. Each of the students were ready to work happily. Each of the students were ready to uh, work happily. Yes. What would there? Right. Simple. Any sentence which has got each will have will take always singular. Good. In same case, same way, it is applied with every boy and every girl. See, even if it is joined with every, so every plus every is equal to every. That's why we'll go with was. Fine. I guess I'll take more 5 minutes. Will it be okay if I take 5 minutes more? Fine. Thank you. A number of books are costly. A number of books is costly. The most common error we can find is a number of and the number of. You make sure that whatever you answer is right. Yes, Harit, it should be A. Please make sure that a number of always takes plural. A number of always takes plural. That's why it is correct. The same way, when you talk about the number of will take always singular. Clear? Everyone? Okay. Rupees 60,000 is a good salary. Rupees 60,000 are a good salary. Yeah, tell me. Excellent. See, in English, when you talk about a unit is always considered as one. 5 kilometers is a long distance. So here we'll not consider 5 kilometers, but 5 kilometer is one unit. That's why it is. Okay. So any number, anything that is considered as unit will consider as singular and it will be applied, the verb would be applied accordingly. That's why it is correct. Now there are few sentences remaining, two or three, I guess, right? Okay. Some of the work have been completed, some of the work has been completed. I give you one hint. With some of the, please listen to me carefully. With some of the, whatever word is given, whatever word is given, if it is countable, if it is countable and in plural form, will consider as accordingly. If it is uncountable, always singular, always singular. So some of the work I cannot count some of the work. That's why I'll apply has. That's why option number B is correct. Fine. 2/6 of the work have been completed, has been completed. Again, see people don't answer in hurry. 2/6 2 divided by 6 is equal to less than 1 or more than 1. If it is less than 1, can I use plural or singular? Yes, there you are. Getting now? So when 2/6 is less than 1, that means anything which is 1 or less than 1 is singular. Clear, everyone? So go with option number B. Fine. Ram's and Shyam's mother is here. Ram and Shyam's mother is here. If the digit is more than 1, it would be plural double. Fine. Kushal, both cannot be there because Ram's and Shyam's mother, that means there are two mothers. So in that way, it should be both, right? We'll go with option number B. We consider that Ram and Shyam has same mother. They are brothers from the same mother. Fine. That's why option number B. That's why option number B. When you find apostrophe S applied to the last one, it will always take singular. If you find individual apostrophes, it would be plural. This is to be understood. That's why option number B is right. Here you will get the idea clear. See, Ram's and Shyam's bags are here, and Ram and Shyam's bag is here. That means Ram has another bag, Shyam has another bag. There are two bags. That's why it is correct. Ram and Shyam's bag is here. That means Ram's bag and Shyam's bag is one. That's why it is singular. So in a way, both are correct, but in this way. Here it says that both bags are different. Here says that both has same bag. Clear, everybody? Hello? Fine. Fine. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you all. Have a nice weekend. Right? Be safe. Be at your home and enjoy learning. Thank you.